Hello and welcome to the Docking Bay 77 podcast YouTube channel. I am one of the hosts, Dayton Johnson. Joining me for another one of our Versus episodes, it is Liam Lewis. How you doing, Liam?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm ready to rock.
Perfect. So, in case you have not seen one of our other Versus episodes, simple concept, what we do is take an original song and compare it to a cover version of that song. This week's version, we have Hallowed Be Thy Name from the greatest heavy metal band of all time, Iron Maiden, covered by the band Machine Head. Now, this matchup was actually suggested by a listener of the podcast, a viewer of our YouTube channel, and a customer actually on my mail route as well. So I want to say thanks to Charlie for suggesting it. I didn't even know this cover existed. So with that in mind, going into this video, I had never heard the cover by Machine Head. As our listeners of the podcast know, I am a huge fan of Iron Maiden, have been since the 80s. And as I said, I think they're the greatest heavy metal band of all time for many reasons I won't go into right now. And actually, Hallowed Be Thy Name is my favorite song from the band and has been for many, many years. If you want to check out some more thoughts on the Number of the Beast that the song comes from, we actually did a full review on that in the audio stream, so go back and check that out. So, that in mind, I know this was actually a first time for both versions for Liam. So why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, this is definitely a first time. I am still a newcomer to the metal genre. I realize now it's kind of like when you first turn 21 and you think you don't like beer, and it's like, well, yeah, because all they're giving you is Miller Lite. When you got a Guinness in you, you're like, oh, beer's awesome. And I realize now that like the reason why I thought as a 12-year-old I didn't like metal was because I was not getting good stuff. But I've been
Yeah, I
getting
can
more
help you in that. I can help you with that.
you have been helping me out with it. I've been getting a lot more into I've been dipping my toe into Pantera and to Metallica, of course, and I am now 3 years into my obsession with Ghost.
There you go. All right,
Got my
right.
crucifix on, ready to rock. I love the band Ghost. I'm more into symphonic metal. I have found I like to
Yes.
still
Okay.
be able to hear the notes while we're shredding away. And so this was actually it was fun to see some of the inspirations that led Tobias to create the
Yes.
sound of Ghost. Because Iron Maiden is very much like you can tell like it's this and Sabbath that are like kind of the progenitors of
Yes.
Ghost. So I'm excited to. I'm definitely going to be listening to a lot more Iron Maiden going forward in my life.
As well you should. As well you should.
There's no greater believer than a convert, and you've made a convert out of me. I'll tell you, brother.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into some facts about the original song. Hallowed Be Thy Name appears on the album Number of the Beast, physical media, hashtag physical media, released in 1982. The song itself was not released as a single from this album, but a live version was released to promote the album A Real Dead One, which is a live album from 1993. And also a version recorded in 2005 for BBC One appears on the B-side of the single, The Reincarnation of Benjamin Bragg. So, Hallowed Be Thy Name is it is the final track on the Number of the Beast album. And getting ready for this, I actually found some other artists that have covered it that actually I have not heard their versions either. Includes Dream Theater, one of my favorite bands. I've actually not heard, only recently heard their version of it. It appears on a live album. The band Cradle of Filth does a cover, as well as Iced Earth. So a lot of metal bands covering Iron Maiden for sure. So that being said, thoughts on the original, Liam? You get to go first.
I thanks for letting me go first. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I totally see why this is your favorite track that they've put out. I'm surprised that it's not this. Do you know what the single was off of? Was it the title
Yeah,
track Number of the Beast?
they
Was
did
that
Title Track and Run to the Hills.
okay? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I did in preparation for this. I listened to both versions, but then I did listen to the whole album of Number of the Beast.
as
And
well you should.
I really liked it. I love the title track, but I kind of feel like this should have been the single because I think it's
It's a
better.
little long. It's a little long, and I think that's why.
Cowards.
Yeah, well, I agree, but
You gotta have some stamina in this business. But no, I absolutely love this track. I think it's probably gonna end up being my favorite Iron Maiden as well. It's such a wonderful story. It's so eloquently told. The solo work is phenomenal in this. I particularly enjoy that intro with the lilting strumming of the guitar, along
yep.
with that just like Sword of Damocles bell. Like I'm a sucker for a good bell, but
Right,
I'm
right.
very picky about how the bell sounds. This is definitely like this, and there are a couple of Metallica tracks that like have the good bell, and
You're
it's
right.
it's just it's so chilling right there at the beginning. I love the vocal work on this. Like
Yes,
of
Bruce,
of
yes.
of that whole album, I think this is where the vocal work shines the best. It really like the second he like started all soft, but then like when he really starts into it, like it was very Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite bands, and I was getting very much like the outro to Stairway to Heaven a little bit. It was very
All
like
right.
it was a very immigrant song in a good way, and I was really digging it.
All right. So, as I mentioned, we did do a full review on the album Number of the Beast, and so I have a lot more to say on this particular track. But for this video, I love everything about this song. I really, really do. There's not a single note or a second that I don't love. The main riff is like the cornerstone of the entire song. If you notice, it changes and it evolves or whatever, but it becomes the whole theme for the rest of the song. You know, it comes back in different ways, and they just change it a little bit for another section, but you can always tell where the song started, what musical note started the whole thing, and it becomes a driving force for the entire song. It's perfectly paced, which I love. I love a good long song, as Eric Brock and Tim Brown and John Wright would love to point out that usually my favorite songs on the albums are the longest ones. Not always, we're pretty close. This one moves. It's not like we're at the 6 minute mark. I'm getting tired of it. It never gets boring. It never gets old. And to your point about Bruce, his vocals are amazing. It starts off really mellow, and then his nice yell at the beginning that's like really calm, and then it goes up and then right into that main riff. It's just beautiful. The arrangement's great. The lyrics are powerful and emotional, and asks a lot of good questions, which is fantastic. You know, everything about it, to me, this song is perfect. And so when I actually thought about doing this episode after Charlie suggested, I'm like going, that's going to be tough because it's going to be really hard to make this song any better. But I'm always up for a challenge. So, but yes, love, absolutely adore everything about this song. Anything else, Liam, you want to add? Anything particular about the original before we move on?
I do gotta say, like anyone who's afraid of a long song, you do not feel the length in this at
No.
all. Like it is, to your point about the highs and the lows, it very much feels like a roller coaster. Like it's
Yes.
very much like you have that you're going up the hill, and then when you drop, you're just going. I do not feel the length in this at all. I think the length is just right for the story that they're telling with these lyrics.
Right.
It's perfectly balanced. It takes you on this long emotional journey, and that finale is something
So
else.
good.
Oh,
So good.
I feel it in my soul.
Yeah, and it doesn't fade out like some last tracks of songs. Never mind. People know that I'm not a big fan of fade outs, and not any
I
fade outs on this
I'm
album.
big. I enjoy a good fade out, but it has to be done well. I'm very
Yes,
picky
I
about
agree.
fade outs, and like on when it needs to be there, like, it's good. But
Right.
I very much enjoy when it just stops.
Yeah, and
Like,
for me, it's on rock and metal albums. I don't understand a fade out because they practiced the song and rehearsed it. There had to be an end. For pop,
yeah.
not so much, but definitely for this genre, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, all right. Anything else before we move on to the cover?
Nope, that'll do it. I don't really I don't have any dislikes.
All right. I
I
don't either.
defy you. I defy our listeners, our viewers to find a dislike with
All
this song.
right.
Kind of worried about what that says about you as a person if you have dislikes about the song.
I
We'll have to keep an eye
don't
on you.
disagree. All right. So the cover from Machine Head appears on a 2007 deluxe edition of the album The Blackening, alongside a cover of Metallica's song Battery, by the way. That's interesting. Need to check that out. So, yeah, they did an original Blackening, and then they did a couple deluxe editions that came out after the fact with additional songs and DVDs with a behind the scenes and whatever. But this appears on the deluxe edition, which I believe was a double LP version. So, and was not released as a single as far as I could tell by doing my research for this one. So, all right, I'm going to start this time with thoughts and opinions on this song. In general, I do like this version. Okay, so at least there's that. I didn't, turn it off like 2 minutes into it, going, this sucks. I actually did like their take on it. You can tell that they respect and love the source material, the original song, and you can hear that they're trying to make it their own without. They didn't change it, I mean, they made little changes. The drummer Dave McLean, he made some choices with different fills in different places, adding double bass in certain areas that didn't have it before, things like that. So he added his little notes to it, which worked. Okay, they did work. And like I said before, it's a perfect song. So when we did the Careless Whisper video, that I also considered that to be a perfect song, but that consistently got good versions out of it. This one, they didn't make it better, which I think is hard to do when it's already perfect, but they made it theirs enough. My only complaint, I have two minor ones, I guess is the best way to put it. In the original, I mean, Steve Harris, probably the greatest hard rock or metal bass player ever. And you can hear him in that mix, right? He's there. And in this mix, I kind of feel like, Adam Duce's bass line is kind of forgotten. You can hear it during the solos, halfway through the song. But the rest of the song, the mix, you really don't hear him as much. I hear the bass drum way more than I hear his actual bass guitar. So that was kind of odd. And my only other complaint, and it only happens in one part of the entire song, Rob Flynn's vocals are good for the most part. Like he's not trying to be Bruce, because very few can do that. So give him respect for that. But he gets a little screamy in one part of the last verse, and I'm like, it takes me out of it just for that moment, and that kind of bummed me out. The rest of his take on the vocals I liked. That one part, and I know that's their thing, and that's cool. That works in your stuff. It didn't work for me in this. So those are my only two minor complaints about their version. Like I said, in general, I do like the song. Thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with you real hard here, brother.
Oh no.
all due respect to the wonderful fans who suggested this versus, we appreciate your input and your support. And I especially apologize if you suggested it because you really like this band and their version of this song. I will also preface this by saying this is definitely into the section of metal I do not like.
Okay, that's fair.
This is that NU new metal. We're getting into the section where if I listen to it too long, a tap out clothing logo is gonna appear on the undercut in the back of my head. Like it's not my metal for sure. It's definitely not made for me. So I will preface it by saying that.
Okay.
However, and I'm sure these gentlemen have a lot of respect for Iron Maiden. I think it's hard to be in the metal genre and not respect them.
Right.
If there's respect and love for this band and this song, I do not hear it on this track at all. This reminds me of Robert Wise made a brilliant horror film called The Haunting. Mm-hmm. And then in the 90s, Jan de Bont decided, screw it, what does this Robert Wise schmuck know? I could be way scarier than him. I know what's scary. I know how to make an adaptation of The Haunting of Hill House, and I'm gonna blow this guy out of the water. And we all know how that movie went. This is to the Iron Maiden version what Jan de Bont's The Haunting is to Robert Wise. I do not care for the vocals on this at all. I am not into the screamo, so it's not meant for me. But at the same time, this entire track and the vocals in particular feel like someone who's trying to outcool the other person. Like you think we're grim dark, we're edgy, we know what's hardcore. It feels like they're just trying so hard to outcool Iron Maiden, and it's falling so flat. Like this song, you can be gothic and metal and edgy and like grim dark, as my boys in Ghost make clear. You can do all that while also still playing notes. Like it's still music. The guitar on this cover is fuzzy in all the wrong
So
ways.
you don't like the tone of the
I
guitars?
don't
Okay.
at all. The bell is wrong. The drum work, I will say, I agree with you on the drum work. I really like this drummer. I like kind of want to like grit my teeth and make myself listen to more of this band just to get more of this drummer because I think he
Okay.
does a really good job. But yeah, I thought the bass was very underrated on Iron Maiden's version. Everybody's going to talk about the guitars and the vocals, but that bass line really is something else, and it breaks my heart that it got so horrendously buried on this
Yeah.
track.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah, the mix was it was kind of hidden. Kind of
yeah,
hidden.
the mixing is bad, and I'm so this just it feels like very disrespectful. And like again, I apologize to this band. I'm sure you guys love and respect Iron Maiden. I'm sure you guys just love this song and wanted to do your cover of it. And I will say at least they're doing their own thing with it. The one thing I hate more than a failed cover is a cover that changes nothing, because then
Right.
why are you even doing it? So I will give it a point for originality, but it just it's so screamo. It's so like it's just not my thing. It's
All
like
right.
it's just not my thing. I don't care for like the song is perfect already. Like this is one of the times where like if it's a perfect song, then like just play the song. And
Yeah.
just don't try to improve because you can't, and you're not more hardcore a vocalist. So let that dream die.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna get hate mail.
I know.
That's all right.
I'm
And that's
gonna
okay.
tank the,
And
in
no.
one
And
YouTube video. I'm going to tank this entire podcast. We'll never make another episode again.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But you know what? I see your point, and I will admit there's some bands where I really like their music, but then the vocalist kicks in, and I'm like I can't handle that. And so I see your point. I see your point. I apparently liked it more than you did, but I understand. So I guess with that, we don't need to ask you which one you like more, which one you think
Well,
is better.
I
So
will say one last thing about this version. I will say, I say I don't like screamo, but to be fair, I am a huge fan of punk bands like the Dead Kennedys and Rage Against the Machine. So I
mhm.
will say, screaming and guttural sounds in rock and metal do have their place, and
Yes,
they
I agree.
can be
Yeah,
really effective. So maybe I just need to listen to more of this band, and if I hear their original songs, I'll like the vocals a lot more. I'm just saying, when you're covering something so beautifully symphonically hardcore as the best Iron Maiden song, it, this is not the place for
yeah,
that.
yeah. I get that. Yeah, I agree.
But
I see that.
I am going to do the decent and try and listen to the original works of this band and see if I like that better, because
All right.
there's a place for just screaming until the microphone explodes. There's a place for that.
There is. There is. True. All right. So we know where Liam lands on these two. And for me, like I said, I do like Machine Head's cover, but nothing, it was going to be really hard to beat the original from Iron Maiden. So that being said, there we go. I'm picking the original over this one. And that's not to say that, like I said, I did like their cover, but they didn't do it better, is the best way to put it. And the only way for me to, because Liam and I did an episode on from Simon Garfunkel's Hazy Shade of Winter, and the Bangles covered it, and we both agreed that the Bangles just did it better. So I guess I spoiled the ending of that one, but it doesn't matter. Go back and check and see what we had to say about the
Go back and
songs.
check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, so sometimes the cover is better, sometimes it's not, and this happens to be the case where
Every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, the movie will be better than the book. The cover will be better than the original. It is
yes,
possible.
it does happen. It does happen. I
Like,
agree.
so as much as it is kind of unfair to make this comparison, because it's like, how is Iron Maiden not gonna win?
I
It
know.
can be done. We
Yes.
have the technology.
Yeah, that actually happened when we did the song that they covered from the band Beckett, and we had thoughts on the original versus Iron Maiden's cover. So go check that one out as well. So anyway, I want to thank Liam for spending time with me, and I actually want to thank you for listening to diving into Maiden a little bit more. And so people down below, comment what should Liam's next album for Machine Head for him to listen to, and next Iron Maiden album to listen to. I've given him some options, but which one do you think he should check out next? He's been burning through Number of the Beast quite a bit, and I think he needs something else to listen to. So comment below on that. Also, comment which one of these do you like? Have you heard the Machine Head cover? I will put links for both songs in the show notes for you guys to check out and give a listen. And as all the YouTubers and influencers love to say, please like, subscribe, and comment on the episode and on the channel, and hit that subscribe button so that way you always get a notification whenever we drop a new video. But thank you, Liam, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm always ready to try new things. Thank you, as always, for expanding my musical horizons.
I try. And so, yeah, check these songs out. Check us out. Comment below. And for all those spending time with us on these videos, thank you very much for watching.